50 centimetre,
yep,
which is that, and then we've got 70 centimetre. Now the interesting part about that is the bottom row is 70, the top row is almost 80. Now the same in the 50s. If you're buying a 50 centimetre Freedom, the bottom row is 50, the top row is almost 60. So you're actually getting a better spread for half the bunch. Remember that when you work out your price comparison. It works out really well. What do you think of the head size?
Larger pedal count on the 70 centimetres. Once we get into the V-Day, you'll start seeing a bigger difference on the 70 centimetres against the 50 centimetres. But yeah, again, on average, 55 to 62 mil on a 50 centimetre, and then up to 58 to 65 mil on a 70 centimetre. So you've got some extra length there. They're impressive, and yeah, absolutely fantastic.
And they're impressive all year round as well.
It's consistent all year round. It's a good point, because the temperature zone that they're growing in, that's why they have that head size year round, because of the altitude they're growing in. I actually didn't know what made the head so big, so I went to Colombia and I said, oh, what makes the head so big? And they go, it's just the consistency and the height above sea level that then impacts on the light and the temperature growth.
High
altitude. Consistency in production. So, if you've pre-ordered flowers or buying them in box lots, this is how you're going to receive them in store. It's how they left the farm. Sydney would have inspected it on arrival. They will then re-inspect it 24 hours after when they send it to us to make sure the quality has retained. They check data loggers to make sure the temperature is right. When we receive them in the warehouse, we inspect them visually. We also download the data logger that's in the shipment that goes from Sydney to us by refrigerated road freight. So there's 2 data logger checks, and there are 3 visual inspections of the rows before they'll end up in your store. So when you get the box, we open it. There'll be a care sticker on the top of it, and this is exactly how it's come from the farm. You'll have 2 centre straps. You obviously cut those out, and you'll pull the product up and have a look.
On some varieties, they'll have ethylene blocking paper, which absorbs tension.
There are some varieties that are more sensitive to ethylene, such as Cherry Brand and Aikido, Topaz, those sort of varieties, where they will actually put specialist ethylene blocking paper in there to try and prevent that. A common mistake that most people make is they completely de-cardboard, but the cardboard actually helps keep it together and make them draw water. So cut them, put them in water and let them draw 24 hours, 1 day. Make them hydrate properly, then take the cardboard off and fluff them out and open them up. Remember, keep the cardboard from the top and slip it under each bucket so that you can tell us what farm and code numbers if you need to talk to us about quality. Hopefully you don't, but just keep that, because that's your key for an ability to process a credit claim. They should look good, they should smell good, the foliage should look fine, it should just look the way that you expect it. Normally if you open it up and you get a musty smell, or if you actually stamp the rose down and if petals fall off, then you know you've possibly got a problem. That's when you would actually let them draw for 2 or 3 hours, and then you would de-cardboard and completely go through it all a lot earlier than that. When Millie was running our bouquet section last year, she found that by separating the lengths to begin with, so you're working with the same length roses, obviously, because it's easier to bunch and bang through. And also, when we sell them as a 60 or a 50, it's the bottom row we're talking about. So the next row up already has that extra, which is almost 10 centimetres. So if you're buying 50 centimetre Freedium, you're really buying 12 at 50 centimetres and 13 at 60 centimetres, or vice versa. It depends on how they do the run. So it's really a dozen at the length and a dozen almost at the next length up. Remember that, because from a pricing point of view, you get a huge price break by buying that way.